That sounds so kind.
Can you be seen?
I can be seen. I am seen.
Hello, it's a live stream with me, Shaw 360, and this one, Shaw 359. Yes, it's like me, but just 1 degree less. Anyway, hello. We're live streaming because today is the 21st of February, which means today is the day that BTS releases their new album, Map of the Soul 7.
And wait, how many Map of the Souls have there been?
Just one other one, Persona.
So then why is this one's the 7th one?
The reason why it's called 7 is because there are 7 members, apparently. Or at least that's what I've been told. Hello!
Hi.
Which, let's start with that. So, this album is called 7, which a lot of us were surprised when the name of the album was announced because there had been theories that it was going to be BTS's Map of the Soul Persona, and then there was going to be Ego, and then there was going to be, I forget what the last one was, but it was like the 3 different pieces of the Jungian psyche were going to be explored. And then they're like, nope, the next one's going to be called 7. And it didn't stand for the 7th release. It didn't stand for the 7 circles of hell. It apparently it stands for the members.
Wait, why are you disappointed that it doesn't stand for that?
I'm not saying I'm disappointed, but I'm just saying it threw off everybody's expectations. Hey, Landra.
Hi.
It threw off everybody's expectations. So already with the title, we are a little bit confused. But then they said the dimensions of this album when they were doing the preview, and a lot of us were like, that's got to be a typo. There's no way you've got an album that's that big. But here we are with this huge ass album that cost $24.99. Now, I actually filmed an entire car review of this album when I bought it at the Target. The reason why you're not seeing that review is because I realized as I was filming it that I was coming at it from the perspective of somebody who routinely collects K-pop on a very regular basis and has been for a number of years, which is why I wanted to have Stephanie review it when I got home.
Wait, why a nice perspective?
Because she is not a collector.
I'm not.
And because she's not a collector, I feel like maybe she can give the perspective of somebody who's just buying a BTS album because it's their first BTS album. They just got into them with Boy With Love, and they're really excited about this comeback. So, Stephanie, we're going to each talk about an element of this album. We're going to go piece by piece talking about these elements. You'll give your opinion as a person who's not a collector, and I'll give my opinion as a person who collects a lot of things. So let's start with the outside of this packaging right here.
Looks very digital. I like the aesthetic. Oh, it's actually light on the hand. It's light on the hand.
Okay.
I like the feel.
What does it feel like?
Smooth.
Okay. How do you like the way it looks on the outside? Or what do you think of the graphics of the entire package?
It's very sleek. It's very futuristic.
Make sure they can hear you. Don't whisper.
It's very futuristic.
Okay.
Very sleek. And yeah. I like the little grid it's got going here. You can't... Well, if it hits the light right.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a grid kind of pattern.
Okay, you can see it a little bit. But there's a bit of a grid. Version 3.
We're just doing the outside. We'll do the inside. See, you're already about to break this thing. We'll do the inside in a minute. We're going piece by piece here. Okay, so now here's the collector's viewpoint of this outside packaging. Already, I have a massive problem with this packaging, and that massive problem is it's a massive packaging. So for those of us who have IKEA bookshelves or have any other kind of bookshelf, I can already tell this is something that's going to be on top of my bookshelf instead of inside my bookshelf because it is way too tall. I'm going to go over to my shelf real quick and try to find a couple of different items to give you some comparisons to size, but that is my first complaint with this packaging. My second complaint with this packaging is that it is white, and it is a kind of rubberized white. And the reason why that makes me upset as a collector is that white albums are the hardest to keep clean on your shelf. I despise white albums, and I've talked about that many times in the past about how white albums are the bane of my existence because they are so hard to keep clean, because once they get dusty and you try to wipe off the dust leaves a residue and it marks up the outside of the packaging. Now, something that I just noticed for the first time, and I'm going to have to get an album off my shelf just to see if this is the first time that it has appeared. Here on the bottom, where it has like the record label imprints, there's 3 different kinds of imprints. I don't know if you can see them, but there's an imprint for Big Hit the Label. There's an imprint for their Korean distributor, a company called Dreamus. And then in between is an emblem, which I don't think you guys can see because my camera doesn't want to focus, but it's the emblem for Hitman Bang, who is the owner of Big Hit. And it says Hitman Bang Producer. And in all of my years of K-pop buying, I have never seen a producer have their own imprint on the outside of an album. I've never seen it in SM. I've never seen it at YG. I've never seen it anywhere else where the producer has their imprint here. And some people could say, well, you know, it's his label, but he's Hitman Bang, and then the label is Big Hit. So his name is already in the label's name. So I find that to be really strange. So those are things that I noticed. I will say, though, I agree with Stephanie about the feel. It's that kind of rubberized exterior that you've seen on Red Velvet's Perfect Velvet, the Bad Boy repackage. A lot of albums have started using this kind of coated paper product, and it always is a nice feel in the hand. So that is something I will say is a plus for this packaging. Also, because it is a stark white, the 7 stands out really well. Like, you can see that from a mile away. And when I walked into the Target and I walked up to the shelf where the album was, you couldn't miss it because it was so very big and it was so stark white with these huge 7s on it. You knew exactly what you were getting. You know exactly what you were looking at.
Maybe it's called 7 because 7's considered like the perfection number.
Could be. So the next thing I want you to do is I want you to open this and tell people about your first impressions of what you're seeing upon opening it. Mm-hmm. Don't go through the items, just open it and then just tell them like, okay, this is how I feel about what I'm seeing. While you're doing that, I'm going to go grab a couple of albums off my shelf so I can do some size comparisons. Here you go. Okay. The camera is yours.
So, actually opening it up, it's not what I expected. It is just like the CD and the book. Yeah, I mean, it's just very basic. I don't really know what to expect, though, because I don't own many of these. But it's very just sort of standard. Oh, thank you. But yeah, the CD looks the same as the cover, and yeah. Wait, is this a poster? Is this a poster? I'm not sure. But yeah, that's basically what it looks like. It's kind of basic.
All right, I'm back with a couple of items for comparison. All right, so I went over to my shelf where I keep the... Go ahead, come on, camera.
Okay.
I went to my shelf where I keep the majority of my BTS collection. I have them on a different shelf than I have my shiny stuff, and on a different bookshelf than I have my other K-pop stuff. And this is Persona, which was the last release that they did, that BTS did. And so size-wise, you can see the jump from one to the other.
Yes.
It's a big jump. I did check the back of the album, and it does have that Hitman Bang imprint right here. So I don't know how I didn't notice it the last time, but it was on the last release. However, they do have a different distributor. So the last time their distributor was iRiver, now it's Dreamus. So that is a little bit different. I'm certain though that the reason why they changed distributors is because they were saying to themselves, whoever gets this deal is going to be fabulously wealthy because we have so many pre-sales. So it was probably like a bidding war to see who was going to get this distributing deal. Okay, so after showing you Persona, I wanted to show you the tallest regular album on my shelf. So I have all of BTS's Korean releases, and I have most of their Japanese regular releases. The only thing I don't have for them is I don't have a lot of their limited Japanese stuff, but all of their like regular CD sized, I have those. So this is my tallest regular sized Korean release. This is Young Forever. And then this is the latest one. And as you can see, it still dwarfs my biggest regular one. So in terms of putting this on the shelf, it's going to be really difficult because it's so very tall. One of the things that I don't put on my shelves because it's a little bit too tall are my photo card binders. So this is one of my photo card binders I got off the shelf, and they are around the same height. So if you're wondering how tall this new album is, if you're thinking about your own shelves, this is a regular sized school binder, and the BTS album is roughly the same height and roughly the same width. So that should give you an idea of what you're dealing with when you decide to put this album on your shelf. So Stephanie talked about how she felt when she saw the inside of the packaging. When I opened this album, when I first looked at it, I thought to myself, damn. So one thing that's a positive, because last time I started with negatives, this time I'm going to start with positives. I do like the nub. I have always liked the nub. And so that's always fun to see whenever you're talking about albums. I prefer nubs over envelopes any day of the week. Give it to me. And then I saw this poster right here, and I was like, okay, another folded poster. Folded posters are not my favorite thing in the world because I never use the posters when they're folded in the album. To me, as a collector, everything that comes in the album stays in the album except for the photo card. So when albums come with buttons, stickers, postcards, anything else, I always keep that stuff inside the album. I don't take it out. So all of my American printed albums that come with posters, I never use the poster. So this is something that is kind of extra. But I do like the fact that the poster is right here because it provides a little bit of a color contrast when you open it. So that is a nice thing. All right, take the poster away and then tell me how you feel about what you see underneath the poster.
Oh, it's a bunch of like stickers, and I don't know what this is, but
be careful where you land that poster. Give it. I'll put it on this side. Anything that you take off of one side, we'll just put on the other side.
Okay.
So let's show them one by one all the stuff that's in there.
So there are this card with a bunch of signatures.
What about the other side?
Oh, there's another side?
You were staring at it. You literally were showing them the signatures while you were looking at the other side.
At the camera. Anyway, this picture, I forgot the word. The picture of all the members.
Okay.
And this thing.
The QRT card that comes with an album.
And then we got a photo card, which is Jungkook.
Okay. What else is in here?
A bunch of stickers. Ooh. A bunch of stickers.
Okay. What else?
Just a sheet of paper that says Map of the Soul 7. It's very ugh.
Okay. What else?
Something that says the notes.
Okay.
And I don't know because it's in Korean.
Okay. What else is in there?
This booklet. Oh, this has all the tracks. Can you? Okay. No, it's too small. It's the book of lyrics. That's what it looks like.
Okay. And what else is in here?
This sheet of.
Be careful.
Don't know how to get this out. Oh, so it's like a little package, I think. And this is what was on the back. So do I open this up?
You better not rip that sticker.
Okay.
We do not tear stickers in this house if we can help it. We'll be reviewing this separately, but
Okay.
we just wanted to show them all the stuff. Now, what do you think about all the stuff that you saw in this album?
It's okay.
Yeah?
I mean, I usually don't see a bunch of like stickers and stuff inside. The
Talk
K-pop
loud enough for them to hear.
I don't see a bunch of stickers in the K-pop albums I've seen, but this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Okay. So, for those of you who watched my channel for a long time and have heard my complaints about packaging, one of my biggest complaints about packaging is, what is all this shit? Because not everything you get in the packaging is stuff that you need. So for instance, a long time ago, years ago, I bought Miss A's last album, Colors. And inside of that album, it had like these little punch out cardboard things. And I'm a grown ass woman. I'm not going to be punching out pieces of cardboard and putting them anywhere. So I remember thinking this is useless. And a lot of times you'll have albums that come with collectible stickers. And I'm like, that's cute and all, but am I really legitimately going to use these things? And one thing that I say I feel like is wasted effort on Big Hit's part is the fact that there's so much random stuff in here that a collector like myself will never use. And if you asked me to choose between giving me a more substantial photo book or giving me all these little extra things, there's at least 3 things here that I would get rid of. So I'll go through and tell you what I'd keep. I would obviously keep the color photo book because that's a big draw for K-pop collectors, the photo books, because it's got the pictures and people love pictures of cute boys. Even though this is less than exciting, I would keep the lyric book because there are those of us who like to see who produced it, who helped write it, what were the English words, because when he says I want to be a good man and you think he's saying I want to be a goon, sometimes you need the lyric book to clear up the lyric confusion. So I would definitely keep the lyric book. I think it's important. I would keep the photo book, and I would keep the photo card, obviously, because for a lot of people, the whole point of buying the album is to get the photo card. So those are the 3 things that I absolutely would keep if I was putting this packaging together and they were asking me what you want, what you don't want. Things that I would absolutely get rid of. At this point, I think we could get rid of the QR codes as a separate card. Let me tell you what I'm feeling. The back of the photo cards have nothing on them except for this kind of grid design thing. I think it would be much more effective and much more environmentally friendly to combine these 2 cards together and make it to where your photo card also had your QRT code. And then you just flip it, and then when you scan it, you get your little message or whatever, and it's just one piece. That's something that I would do to save a little time and a little space. Because from what I've been hearing, the reason why this is such a weird packaging is because it's supposed to be more environmentally friendly. But I think you can be environmentally friendly by taking the philosophy that less is more. This postcard here, I appreciate the fact that you're finally getting signatures in album packaging again, because BTS hasn't had signatures in their album packaging in a really long time. The Persona album came with photo cards, and those photo cards had the same grids on the back of them. They didn't have signatures. The entire Love Yourself series, they didn't have signatures because they had the flower design that you had to get all the cards to make the flower mosaic. So it is nice to have signatures again. However, I don't think that this is where I would have put that. Again, being environmentally friendly, I would have combined this image and these signatures with the lyric book. I think that would have been a better use of time. Like, you could have taken the 7 and you could have put all the signatures around the 7. You could have taken this back part where the track listing is, and you could have stuck this picture underneath the track listing. That would be what I would do to save the space. Again, if we're being environmentally friendly, since we are trying to stay environmentally friendly. So, let's see here. This is my extra photo book deal. So this is where I keep my extras. Okay, so Persona, the signatures that came with Persona were on the back of the postcards, not the photo cards. So there were signatures on the back of the postcards. Thank you for correcting me. The next thing that we have in here is this coloring sheet. Deadass would have never put this in this fucking thing. Like, this actually makes me legit.
Because I didn't know what that was.
This legit makes me mad. First of all, I don't know of anybody who is a serious collector who would dare to pick up a colored pencil or a marker and start coloring on this thing. Like, I don't know anybody who would do that.
They don't at least put, like, paint by number, like, color by numbers.
Like, seriously, if you want us to have a coloring sheet and you wanted to be, like, environmentally conscious, put this template on your website and let people download it if they want it. But printing that out and putting it here, this legitimately is the most useless thing in this entire package right here. The poster you put up on your wall, you may be brave enough to use the signatures, but who in their right mind is going to color on this coloring sheet if they are a serious collector? No one. So I would never have included this in there at all.
The way you said no one.
No one. You know, if you're going to do that, then you should have taken the 7 on the front of the lyric book and you should have made it like this and let people color in on the lyric book. But absolutely, I would have never included this. This is probably the biggest waste of anything that's in this environmentally friendly packaging. Next, we have the notes. The notes are a motif that they have been doing since quite a while back, so I get why you want to have this. However, I think that I have a couple of problems with these notes. Number one, I think that if you're going to do a Korean press and then you're going to do a press that's made for the American market, the American market should have an English notes instead of Korean print. Because if you look at the lyric book that comes with this album, the lyric book itself, when it's not quoting a Korean lyric, is completely in English. Like, everything is in English except for the thank yous that the individual members do and the parts of the lyrics, like I said, that are sung in Korean. But when it comes to produced by keyboards, choir, all that stuff, all of that is in English. Even the thanks to, it says thanks to in English, and then it shows their Korean writing. So that's the reason why I think that if you're going to make an American press, then this one right here, you should go ahead and do it in English. And I think that that's a smart move to do as well, because if you have a collector who is saying, okay, do I get the Korean press and the US press, or do I just get one or the other? Then if I'm a collector, I would buy the Korean press to get the Korean version of the notes, and I would buy the American print to get the American version of the notes. So that's another thing that I would change if I was doing this packaging. Next is this, which is the stickers. Stickers are one of my pet peeves. They're a really cute idea, but who in their right mind, after paying $25 for this album, would use these stickers?
I would.
You really would? You would buy this album, pay $25 for it, and use the stickers?
I would use this sticker, 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 and this sticker, and this sticker.
I wouldn't use any of these stickers. But, again, as a serious collector, the reason I would not use these stickers is not because they're not cute, but because once I use these stickers, my packaging is incomplete. So while the stickers might be cute, and also, can we say that Suga's hair is really doing things? I wouldn't use these stickers because once I use them, it's no longer complete. And so if I wanted to sell this later on down the line, I've got an incomplete set of packaging to sell. So that's one of the reasons why I say I wouldn't have included this, because again, it's kind of a useless thing if you do. So, and you lose the value if you use it, but if you don't use it, it's just one more thing that's in an album that doesn't get used. And somebody had talked about how they take the notes from the album and they turn it into books. I know that. I'm very well aware of that. And in that case, it almost seems like a waste of resources to print out the notes in these little forms and then turn around and make a book with all the notes. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about all of the content in this album. So now we're going to get to the most important part, the photo book. So to keep Stephanie from ripping the sticker on the back of here, I'm going to slide it out.
But the sticker,
What about the sticker?
I could just peel it off.
No! No! Why would you do that?
Because it's a sticker right there. It's just asking to be peeled away.
This is the difference between the collector and the regular consumer.
It's just a sticker.
But then if you wanted to give this to somebody else, the sticker no longer works.
What do you mean?
Okay, once you peel the sticker, you've now got a sticker that's not as adhesive.
But
So
it
when you
still
try to-
sticks.
It doesn't stick as well. And if you keep unsticking and sticking, eventually it's not going to stick at all. And you run the risk of tearing the vellum.
Okay.
Again, this is the difference between a collector and a regular consumer. She's just like, just tear this shit open! Get to the prize! Anybody got time for these fucking stickers? Rip! Meanwhile, I'm like, and you slide it out.
I'd peel gently.
Okay. So what do you think of this as a container for a photo book?
Very sheer, very sleek, very cute, very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My one word review, cheap!
Even though it looks like it's a little bit of like baking sheet material.
Yeah, it looks like parchment paper that we use.
Yeah.
Like when we put stuff in the oven, instead of using aluminum foil, we use parchment paper. And this feels very much the same as parchment paper, but this particular kind of paper is called vellum, I believe, just in case you're wondering. Okay, now, this is the part that I haven't gone through. I actually saw this, and after I saw it, I had to put it away.
Why did you have to put it away?
Here you go. I'm going to let you review this.
Okay, so we have the first little page. Opening it up. Oh, this just comes right out. Oh. Wow. Businessman aesthetic. Can you say I made my own business at 21, please? Look at them. Elegant. Elegant. Elegante. Oh, there's more. Oh, they did it Last Supper style, too. Oh. Okay, BTS, I see y'all. Okay, so we have J-Hope serving us businessman realness. I almost forgot the word. Look at him, looking real nice. Just sitting.
Lord, please don't let her crease these pages. Please be careful.
Being careful. Right. I'm sorry, it's hard to flip with this. There's no staple. Yeah. Business, but like angsty business, like Anastasia from 50 Shades of Grey didn't make the call back for the next interview, and so you're kind of sad about it.
I'm just gonna close my eyes and let you finish this.
Ooh, and then we have Mom's fave. You're looking good today. You're looking like you just laid off about 1,000 workers. Ooh. Okay, then. Serving. Look at the serving. It's like, I don't care what you think. I want another coffee. I like it. Ah, that's cute. I don't even drink coffee. He said I drink tea.
I can't see what
Only
you're
that
doing,
true
but your page
tea.
flipping sounds very aggressive. I don't like it.
Ooh, we got 2 tea drinkers. I wonder what their favorite flavor is. It's like Celestial Seasonings. Are you into
Capitalism.
something better? Ooh, and this is them in black and white. I can just hear the, I guess you wonder where I've been. Oh. Yeah, they said we're giving you business chic. Okay.
Oh my gosh, did you break something? Did something tear?
No. They're very, very classy.
Ooh. Did you break something?
Break anything.
Your page flipping is making me nervous.
I don't know. Is that a grape? Is that a cherry? I don't know. But he's doing something with that thing he has in his hand, and I'm living for it.
Ooh. I'm not.
More posing. More posing. Oh. Wait, I feel like I've seen this before, but okay. Okay. Jimin said, I am not the CEO. I actually inherited the company from my great-great-grandfather.
Chaebol.
I actually, I own the estate. Wow, he's giving us old money. He's serving us old money. That money been in the family. Okay.
Is it over yet?
Ooh, holding a chalice? Holding a chalice? Okay, okay. A little bit of a vampire vibe if you guys are into that.
You got a man, but you're fucking around.
And then...
What oop? What oop? What are you tearing?
End scene. And then the back.
Is now.
Yes.
That had to be the longest flip through in all of eternity.
Well, you said you wanted it gentle.
It didn't sound gentle. How many times am I oops? Ooh! Ah! Okay. 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 Woo! Come on, tension. Come on down. Come on down. My blood pressure is high now. My blood pressure is sky now. Okay. So as I mentioned before Stephanie went through this, I could not look through this after I opened it in my car because I realized that the paper that is used to make this photo book is one step above newsprint paper. BTS has finessed us into buying a newspaper and telling us that it is a photo book. Y'all, this is one of those free newspapers that you see when you like walk into restaurants and they got the newsstand out front, except for it don't even have the staples. This is a BTS newsletter that they are trying to pass off as a photo book. A book's got binding. You can't lie to us. This is not binding. Technically, a book is pages bound together. This is a newspaper. Why do you lie? And I was going to go through it when I realized that as a person who wears glasses, I can't see shit. The print is so muddled and dark, and honestly, it is because it is printed on newsprint, which is not made for dark colors. I can't see shit. I can tell that there are people, but fine details, when you were like, is that a grape? Hell if I know, I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing. As a collector, this infuriates me. As a collector, I'm so angry. Okay, so I'm not dumb. I get what the idea behind this is. So
I'm that old money photo.
I'm gonna do the thing that Stephanie didn't do.
Wow.
Gosh, I'm so nervous doing this. They're posters.
No wonder they didn't match.
They're posters. And I get that Big Hit said, don't buy that next issue of J17.
What?
Those teen magazines they have, like J17 and Teens Bop and all those ones, like when you go to the magazine section.
Nobody looks at those anymore.
Well, the idea is that BTS Big Hit is saying, don't buy those magazines. If you want our poster, then we will give you a stack of thinly printed posters for you to put on your wall.
Well, with that material, no one would put them on the wall because it might break off or fall down.
Oh, a criticism. Shock and surprise. As a collector, I would never in my wildest dreams tear out my photo book and put it on the fucking wall. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That, and if these are posters, then what the fuck is this thing?
It's a poster.
Are you doing this just to make me mad? Are you doing this just to make me mad? Why would you include a poster and then include a fistful of posters?
Wait, is this the same poster as
Bitch,
the one that's on
bitch,
the outside?
Bitch, if that image No, don't do
Look
this
at
to
the
me.
outer layer. Look at the outer layer. Yeah, the very first one.
I'm trying. Still need to be delicate.
Okay. We need to take the outside.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? You hold yours up and I'll hold up mine. Are you fucking serious? It's the same fucking poster! It is the same poster! Are you that cheap? You wouldn't even give us a different image? It's the same fucking image! It's on the photo book poster and on the folded poster!
It's the same poster.
You know you wrong. You know you are wrong. You know what? You know you wrong. You know you are wrong. I cannot believe you would do this to me. I have been buying albums from Big Hit for years. I can't believe you would do this to me. I'm so disheartened right now. I feel like I found out that my man is fucking somebody else. I feel like I would have the same reaction. Like, I can't believe you do this to me. After everything we've been through, Leroy, you got the nerve to be dating somebody else? You act like I didn't buy all your boxes for the last 2 years.
They gave us a smaller version of the same poster.
And this further illustrates my point about the cheap ass paper they used. So when you look at this poster, you can see details of the food items that are on the table, because this type of paper is made for you to be able to print dark colors and still get details. Newspaper print, which is much thinner, is a more porous paper, which means that when you put ink to it, it becomes more muddled. So little detailed items get harder to see because newsprint creates more shadow. I'm so angry.
Good laugh.
This is why I said, you know what? Let me not be in my car and arguing with myself in a public parking lot and strangers looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm going to go home and I'm going to sit with somebody else, somebody normal, and see if maybe I'm overreacting. See if maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I don't understand. You know, maybe the kids get it more than I do. But you done fucked up, Leroy. You done fucked up, Leroy. I can't believe you do me like this. I cannot believe you do me like this.
You done messed up, Aaron.
Now I would like you to try to close this. And please be gentle.
It's closed.
I asked her to be gentle because when I tried to close it in the parking lot, I almost broke this bitch. Because it is flimsy, and when you close it, if you don't do it right, these two edges of the box hit each other, and then you end up with a dent, like how I got I'm a brand new album. And as a collector, that shit is annoying as hell. So yes, that's why I told you to be careful, because I can't risk any more damage.
I feel hoodwinked.
I feel lied to. I feel cheated on. I feel taken advantage of. I do. $25. And you know how they tricked you? How they tricked you? By making this shit big. They said, if you make it big, then when you pay $25 for it, you'll be like, oh yeah, totally. Like, look how big it is. $25 is a steal.
They had us.
It is a gift box filled with newspapers. If I tell it to you that way, is it a steal?
They had us in the first half.
Not gonna lie.
The news and it being the same exact poster was.
That is the final straw. For real. Like, there's a lot I could try to get over, but you mean to tell me you gave me the same image twice? Yeah.
I'm gonna let you think about what you did.
Dear Maury Povich, my mama slept with my man. I feel many levels of betrayal. Woo! Woo! Yeah. Have you ever been so angry that you just had to keep laughing? Because there was nothing you could do to make the situation better. So you're just like, I'm just gonna laugh because this is absurd. This is comedy at this point. It's so tragic that it's comedy. So all I gotta do is laugh. Oh man. You did me wrong. You did me wrong.
I mean, at least you could use those stickers to put on.
I'm not using the fucking stickers! I'm not using the fucking stickers! I'm not using the stickers from the sticker sheet. I'm not tearing the sticker off the vellum. I'm not using the fucking sticker, Stephanie.
Well, I mean, like the sticker page. And then put it on the posters. Put a newspaper.
Are you really suggesting putting stickers on the newsprint?
Yes.
She is wild. This one over here is wild.
I mean, I'd have done it if it was my own copy.
There's a lot of stuff you would do if it was your own copy. You're like, I would use the stickers, and I'd put the images on the wall, and I would tear the
I would
valuable
not put the newspaper stuff on the wall because it seems very flimsy, and you know the wall. If you try and put a tack in it, it just tear, and it is flimsy. It's not good enough to put on your wall. But
I want a legit photo book, man. I want a legit photo book. I want a photo book made out of the paper that the folded poster is made out of, and I want the folded poster to be what's made out of fucking newsprint. I want the two values switched. That's what I want. I'm not gonna get it.
Both of them be poster.
Yeah, like a thing that I didn't even say anything about. Something that I should have said something about, because again, fucking cheap as hell. This whole lyric book here, the biggest thing in this whole package, it's printed completely in black and white. Do you know why? Because color printing costs more money. So the reason why you get this small colored item and this much larger black and white item is because this is cheaper to make. I'm so angry. I'm so angry.
Well, if you want to go buy this album, you can go to your local Target or Walmart, or online, Amazon, eBay, Craigslist. I don't think people use that.
Go on eBay and get you a used copy. Go on eBay and get you a used copy. That way you are paying for what it is actually worth. Because that right there, I can't believe y'all do me like that. I cannot believe y'all do me like that. And I feel even worse for the people who pre-ordered that album at $25 a piece and bought the full 4-piece set and spent $100 on that right there. $100 on that set.
$100.
Yeah. $100. That's somebody's electric bill. There is an asshole out there in the world right now who did not pay their electric bill so that they could get the new BTS
That's
set.
true. The lyric book is thicker than the photo book.
Yeah, because it's an actual fucking book instead of a newspaper. Newspapers tend to be thinner than books. That's the reason why newspapers cost less than books. Because newspapers are thinner than books.
I want to know who came up with the design and layout for this album.
I want to know who hates us. Who was it that hates us? Who was it that said, you know what we really need to do? We need to finesse at least 3 million people. That's what we need to do. Because I want to say that they have sold over 3 million copies of this album. Because there's been at least 3 million pre-orders. So I want to know who is the finesse god over at Big Hit.
I feel bad for the girl we saw at that Barnes & Noble who was freaking out about them BTS dolls because she probably bought this album when it was expecting the greatest.
Oh, yeah. And that is the reason why this is such a fucking finesse. That's the reason why this is such a fucking finesse. Because you walk into the store and you see this big bitch sitting on the shelf and you're like, whoa, shit. I'm fit to get something great. Look at it. Oh my, this is me being her inside of the Target. Oh my God. It's right there. All of them are right there. Oh my gosh. They're so big and they're so pretty. Oh my gosh. They have every copy. They have version 1. They have version 2. They have version 3. And they have version 4. All of them are just right there on the shelf. Oh my God. They're selling K-pop in the United States. And it's totally worth it too. Because they are my favorite group. And everything that they do is magical. So already we know this is supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread.
And then you open it up and
then you open it up. And then you open it up. Oh my God, stickers! That's really great because I just bought a Hydro Flask and I've been looking for some stickers to put on it, so these are great. Oh man.
I just want to know how different are the other versions? Are they?
They're exactly the same. They're exactly the same. The only difference is the 7 looks different and it's a different photo shoot. It's exactly the same. They're all made out of fucking newspapers and broken dreams.
The same poster.
They're all made out of capitalism and lies. That's why Parasite was teaching us how to eat the rich. Because it's all lies.
I mean, get this money, BTS. Get this money.
I hope you are getting this money. Like, for real, on a serious note, I hope you are getting this money. I hope that for every $25 that we spend on this album, every member of BTS gets $1. Yeah. Because honestly, once you start paying the graphic designer and the people who do the printing and the shipping company and the retailer gets their percentage and the record label gets their money, after you break that all down, what is BTS getting? What, 30 cents a piece per album? Maybe. I hope you really are getting your money. I hope I hope capitalism is treating you well, because that right there feels like a betrayal. That right there, I feel like somebody on like Maury, and you find out he's not the father. I feel like I just want to run behind the stage and cry. But he's the only one I slept with, Maury. There's no way he can't be the daddy. I've only ever been with Jamel.
I feel like when you form a strong alliance with somebody, Game of Thrones type style, and you're finally revealing your deepest, darkest secret to each other, you go in for a hug and then you get a stab in the back.
I really do feel like the winds of Castamere are playing. I'm at the Red Wedding and somebody is trying to hurt me. So thank you all for watching this unboxing. Now, I just want to tell you ahead of time, obviously, my opinions are not the most popular opinions in the world. Obviously, my opinions are extremely unpopular. So do not share this video with your friends if your friends are stans, because they might be angry at me. And while I can take as many downvotes as I need because I'm grown and I don't give a fuck, at the same time, your friends might question your taste if you pass this video to them thinking that they share your sentiments.
Don't make yourself a target.
Yes, they might be like, do you endorse that raggedy bitch? And then be like, well, I am subscribed to the fuck you then. I knew there was a reason why I don't like you. So that's what I'm saying. Unless you feel like your friend is a like-minded friend, this is probably not the video you want to show them when they're asking you, so, what's the new BTS album packaging like?
Just
friends?
tell them, oh, it's good.
Yeah, just be like, well, it is very big and it is very bold. That, to me, is a very neutral, bordering on positive description. It is very big and it is very bold. It is also
and full of newspaper.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion. It's not the world's opinion. It's my opinion. It is actually kind of a little bit sad, because this is the first BTS album that I won't actively try to get every version. In the past, when BTS has released albums, I've tried to get every version. So, like, I have every, like, version 1, 2, 3, 4 of all of the Love Yourself series. I have all 4 of the Wings. I have all of the versions of Greatest Moment in Life Part 1, Greatest Moment in Life Part 2, both of the Young Forevers. I always get all the versions. I even have both versions of the BTS World OST. I have the limited edition big pink one, and then I have the black one. So this is kind of a precedent for me that this is the first time I will not actively be searching for all the versions. Or if I get them, I will be getting them all used. And I will only be paying for them if I can get them on a super discount. Like, I'm talking about $15 and less. Because, no, you're not going to trick me into paying $25 a piece for newspapers. I'm super disappointed. I'm super disappointed. And this, oh, also, caveat too, we are not talking about the songs. To be honest with you, I have not listened to the album yet because the rental car that we have does not have a CD player. So I wasn't able to put the CD in, and I wanted to wait until I could listen to the CD, until I bought it to listen to the songs. I wanted to wait until I bought the album to listen to all of the songs. So the only songs that I've heard off of this album are Suga's Outro. I've heard J-Hope's Ego. I've heard Black Swan, and then today I heard On, which is the title song. And so I don't even know what this album is like, to tell you the truth. I know the songs on this album that were on Persona. That I do know because obviously I have that album and I've listened to it several times. I don't know what the rest of this album sounds like. So I'm not even critiquing the music. This is strictly an album packaging review. That's why this whole video is called Album Packaging Review. It's not an album review. It is an album packaging review. Big caps. So I hope this album, at the very least, is worth it. But you don't need 4 copies to listen to an album. 1 copy is more than enough. So take your chances if you wanna, but this ain't it, Jack. This ain't it. Can't wait to hear my thoughts on the album. I don't know. Should we listen to the album?
I have Apple Music.
Okay. Go get and let's listen to the album. So I'm gonna turn off this live stream. I will come back onto the live stream in 5 minutes, and me and Stephanie are going to do a first listen of the new BTS album with you guys. So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna turn this off. We're gonna come back in about 5 minutes, and we are going to do a live stream first listen of the latest BTS album all together. So you guys go get your popcorns, get your drinks, and meet us back here in 5.
Okay.
Bye.